Hey y'all, good morning. It's September the 4th, 2017. And y'all, I have a short story to share with y'all this morning. And it kind of coincides with the theme that is very reoccurring on this channel. A topic that's brought up that I like to bring up, in which I like to just suggest for everybody out there that schools, as we've come to know them here in this nation and pretty much all over the world, schools are stupid. It's a stupid idea. I mean, it was worth finding out about, but now we know about it and it's dumb. It's a really unnecessary part of our society, and we've discussed it time and again here on this channel. That being said, I wanted to share a brief story with y'all. The other night I went out to this little bar. It's a cigar bar, and they were having a performer, and it was all pretty lovely. I'd never been there before. I went down there and I took a look at it. It was really quite enjoyable. This cigar bar, train car cigar bar or whatever, here in Big Spring, Texas. I was there. I was meeting a whole bunch of people who were really, getting down, relaxing, having conversations and stuff. I had conversations with a few people. One to include a man, and I don't remember his name. Or, I mean, I shouldn't say his name anyways. That's messed up on the internet. But I met this man, and I'll let you know that he concerned me just a little bit in certain ways. As far as, I was kind of concerned for his own happiness. It was an interesting man that I met. Alright. And we were having, random conversation. And I remember that he brought up that he was, in fact, homeschooled. And I said, congratulations. That's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. And then he said something to the effect of, thank God I wasn't homeschooled the entire time. And I said, okay. Because I know a lot of people who are only homeschooled for a certain amount of time, then they went to public school. And so I was curious, and I asked him. I said, and I already knew the answer, by the way, but I asked him anyways. I said, why do you say that exactly? What was better about this public school than at the home school? And the answer that I already knew that he gave to me was, well, for the whole socializing element of school. And, the thing is, like I said, if you ever talk to anybody about it, that's the answer that they'll give you. The whole socializing aspect of school. And like we stated before, and we'll just keep stating, school in and of itself is like a miniature prison. It's like prison light. Alright? So if you can imagine, just go ahead and imagine. Alright? A hardened criminal getting out of prison, let's say for 10 years. He was on a 10-year stint, got out of prison. Someone comes up to him and asks him, hey, how was your stay in prison? And he would say, well, it was really good for socializing. What kind of answer would that be? Alright, but that's the answer that you'll get every time, the socializing. Alright, like I've been saying, a lot of things that you'll learn in school ain't gonna help you. For example, the simple theory behind school is to take children at very young ages, teach them about reality in a room or in a building where you drag them away from reality in order to teach them about reality. And we suppose that that's going to work. Obviously, it hasn't been working. Alright, so I just brought that up because it's kind of ridiculous. The idea behind socializing, that the main thing behind school is that you get social skills. The guy honestly wasn't all that social. He didn't have that many skills, to be honest. But that's the whole thing. Is you get to socialize. You get to get the social skills if you go to these public gatherings of children called school. Alright? And it's funny because school, like I said, in many untold ways, will teach you things that are quite retarded, and then after you get out of school, you realize when you're in reality, you start to realize, damn, these things were quite retarded that I was taught in school. Just for example, you know, how in the world is it that we designate buildings that look very much like prisons? How is it that we dedicate buildings to the act of socializing? Right? Something that we've been taught in our schools. How in the world does that happen? Right? And it's a weird, simple mistake that most folks make, and that they'll think of church, for example. When I say the word church, automatically an idea comes in your head and you think of a certain kind of building. You attribute that building to church. And that's funny because you can have church anywhere in the world that you want. Alright? We've been taught we've been all mixed up in our brains. Like, people tried to mix us up in our brains. They tried to tell you, oh, church is this kind of way. It's not that kind of way. Alright? Socializing, you could do it in that building, but you can't do it in that building. That's not the building you do it in. You can't do it down the street. You have to do it in this building. That's for socializing. You might say, well, that's where all the children are at to socialize with. Yeah, I agree with you. They've all been tricked into the prison. Alright? So yeah, I mean, you do have to go into prison to socialize with the prisoners. Y'all still all prisoners. And I was a prisoner all throughout my school career and stuff. Didn't teach me nothing. I didn't hardly remember nothing. I don't hardly remember anything except reading, writing, and arithmetic all throughout school. Right? And that's the system that we're putting our children in. And the thing is, of course, we've been taxed into oblivion. Of course, we can't afford to homeschool our children. Of course, I know what the economy looks like. Right? So that does happen. What I'm just trying to suggest is it is a terrible idea. There's all sort of consequences and repercussions, and people don't even know what words mean. Alright, so mixed up that we're starting to become illiterate, and we don't know what words mean. And when you do not know what words mean, that's a problem. You become a slave, and slavery is bad. We're all up in the tribulation. I just wanted to holler at y'all about it for a second. Anyways, y'all have a great morning. Alright? Slavery is bad. I'll holler at y'all.